in a sense.
Yeah.
So
And I think that's a perfect segue into this. Essentially, your area that you want to address and dive into is taking these uh, sometimes arbitrary, sometimes raw, crude, elementary goals that people have, um, and kind of morph them into something deeper, more solid, more concrete. Because with anyone new, they're new at everything. So even trying to express their goal is hard, and I think that's where you can have a huge potent effect in trying to instill in somebody their concrete goal. Because when we don't have a goal established, that's where there's a lot of trial and fail, trial and fail. Oh, I tried, I just can't get into it. But we're jumping the gun a little bit, and if we can get you to help them establish that concrete goal, um, and have that solidified in their heart and in their mind, well, there isn't going to be that I tried and I failed. There's just going to be I tried and now I'm grinding into it. I'm
right,
adjusting. I'm adapting. So,
right,
and I think that's the in your worksheet, your very first question, uh, just attacks that right off the bat. You kind of already establish to see if they're in a crude state and an elementary state um, of their goal, or if they have something solid. So I think your first question is a little bit of fire there to see what's going on. It says, examine your beliefs. What are your beliefs about this goal? Do you really believe that you can achieve this?
right.
You get straight to the point. So kind of dive into that. Tell me the science behind that and how that's gonna help somebody in their first step to getting this behavior change.
Well, like you said, this is how we this is the first way that we start to see exactly where they are with this goal. And I've heard it, this is kind of a crude example, but I've heard people describe the difference between goals and dreams and other terms that basically get from closer to reality to further out somewhere out in the stratosphere somewhere. To it's like, hey, I wish that I had the body of whoever, or and maybe to step away from health and fitness for a second, to say, if you asked anybody you passed on the street if they wanted to be a millionaire, assuming they're not already one, of what would you say?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, of course. And it's like, but that's not a goal. That's just, I mean, everybody wants that. If you
Right.
pass anybody on the street and say, hey, would you want to have a perfect body? Well, yeah, of course I want to have that. It's
Sure.
so the
If you're just gonna give it to me, yeah, why not?
right. So when we have to start looking at our beliefs, it's like, yeah, I want to be a millionaire, but am I going to take the steps that I need to take to actually do it? Am I even interested in finding out that, hey, that's just a dream right now? Let's bring it down to reality, and let's come up with a plan. And now we
Sure.
have a goal statement, and we have a system in place to see, are we actually taking steps toward that goal? You
Sure.
know,
So essentially, like, do I even know what I'm saying when I say this? And then
right.
if I do, what is it going to look like in reality? And if I don't, what do I need to do to make it look like
To
reality?
get there. Right.
Like,
So something that, and I'm sure you've heard these statements multiple times when conducting your first interview with a potential client. That's probably the first question I ask.
mhm,
What would you like to accomplish? I just kind of let them talk. And
mhm.
in the process of them talking, I can tell by the words that they choose of kind of where they are. What is this a concrete goal that they already have in mind, and they just want me to help them come up with a plan? Or is it on the other hand, I hear a whole lot of, oh, well, I just want to be fitter, or I want to be thinner, or I want to be stronger, or I want to be able to play with the kids and not get winded, stuff like that. And it's like, okay, that's giving me a very broad example of what you're talking about. But can I help you more clearly define exactly what you're trying to do? And then we can come up with a plan to exactly get there.
Bingo. I think that's a textbook comparison to the physical screening, right? When I first have a client, when I'm seeing them warm up, when I'm seeing them move, we talked about this in a previous podcast about screening, like just what are they capable of right now, right? Like everything they're doing, everything that we're seeing, no matter how little or how much minutia, it's all kind of like starting to process in my head. Like, is this person super deconditioned or is this person moving pretty well? Same concept you're doing. Does this person have a defined goal? And you're not asking that question directly. You're just paying attention to their responses. Just like I'm paying attention to their movement and seeing how crappy or good it is, you're paying attention to their language and if like they know what the hell they want, kind of thing.
Exactly.
It's a mental screening going on in our.
Right.
So
essentially, and that's a good segue into the next question, which is where I ask what evidence